Episode 1.
The movie starts with Gi-hun, who won a huge prize of $31 million in the last season of the Squid Game. At this point, he's about to leave Korea to reunite with his daughter in the US, but at the subway station, he sees a salesman from the Squid Game trying to recruit someone else. This shocks Gi-hun, especially when the salesman recognizes him. Gi-hun decides not to board his flight and tries to find the salesman. He's puzzled about how the game organizers know everything about him and follow him. Later, Gi-hun checks his body for tracking devices and finds a microchip in his ear, which he quickly flushes away. Meanwhile, Detective Jun-ho Woo-suk's up in a hospital. He had sneaked onto the Squid Game island to search for his missing brother, but his brother turned out to be the leader of the game and shot him. 2 years later, Jun-ho is working as a traffic cop. He tries to explain the deadly game to his boss, but the boss does not believe him. Gi-hun, still obsessed with finding the salesman, hires Kim Jun-hee to help track him down. Kim Jun-hee has been monitoring subway stations for 2 years, but has not found anything. Gi-hun gives him a large amount of money to hire more people to search. Kim Jun-hee and his team start looking for a man who plays a game called Daki with strangers, handing them an invitation card. After days of searching, Kim Jun-hee's team finally spots the salesman. Gi-hun is excited and tells them to follow him. The salesman goes to a bakery, buys bread rolls, and then approaches homeless people in a park. He offers them a choice between bread and a lottery card. Most of them pick the lottery card, but lose. He then throws all the food on the ground and stomps on it, explaining that they made the wrong choice. Meanwhile, Gi-hun is speeding to the park, but is stopped by a traffic officer, who turns out to be Jun-ho. The salesman gets into a taxi, and Kim Jun-hee and his team continue to follow him. They eventually corner the salesman in an alley, but he easily overpowers them. Gi-hun arrives but cannot find anyone. He finds bloodstains and a knife, which scares him. In another scene, Kim Jun-hee and his team are tied to chairs. The salesman makes them play a dangerous game of rock, paper, scissors with a gun. They must make 2 choices, and then one is taken away. The loser faces Russian roulette with 1 bullet in a revolver. After several rounds, Kim Jun-hee is shot in the head. Later, Gi-hun returns to his motel and finds the salesman waiting for him. The salesman says Gi-hun should have gotten on the plane, but Gi-hun insists he wants to meet the people who run the game. The salesman offers to deliver a message for him, but Gi-hun calls him just a follower. This makes the salesman angry, and he challenges Gi-hun to a game of Russian roulette. They play the game, with the salesman not spinning the gun each time. After several rounds, neither is shot. Gi-hun is about to fire the last shot when he decides to risk it. He pulls the trigger and survives. It's now the salesman's turn, and Gi-hun taunts him. In the end, the salesman shoots himself, dying with dignity. Episode 2. Jun-ho watches Gi-hun from outside a building, then rushes in after hearing a gunshot. He finds Woo-suk tied up and rescues him. Woo reveals he's Kim Jun-hee's right-hand man, helping track a salesman for 2 years, and that his boss was killed. Gi-hun finds a card with a message for Club HDH on October 31st at midnight. Kang No-ul, a woman working at an amusement park, is warned by a traffic officer and later learns a sick girl has leukemia. She visits a smuggler, offering all her savings to help her daughter, but learns her daughter is likely dead. She receives a Squid Game invitation card. The next day, she quits her job after seeing the sick girl in an ambulance. At a motel, Jun-ho has a fake tooth with a GPS tracker placed by Gi-hun's team. Kang No-ul visits the hospital, sees the sick girl, and quietly leaves after returning a strawberry hat to her. Jun-ho hires a special forces team to train, and they plan to go to Club HDH. Gi-hun and Woo-suk enter the club while Jun-ho stays outside. Kang No-ul calls the Squid Game number and is invited to the event. At Club HDH, Gi-hun and Woo-suk enter the Halloween party, with Woo-suk blending in with a mask. Jun-ho follows 2 men in pink jumpsuits to the club. Inside, Gi-hun is led away by a pink-clad guard while Woo-suk is tased. Jun-ho finds Gi-hun gone and Woo-suk unconscious. Gi-hun enters a white limo where he hears the frontman's voice saying the players are trash. Jun-ho's team is misled, driving in circles until a sniper shoots their tires and Jun-ho's car is damaged. Gi-hun inside the limo demands the frontman stop, then pretends he wants to rejoin the game, to impress the VIPs. The frontman agrees, and gas fills the limo, knocking Gi-hun unconscious. It's revealed the frontman was in the limo the whole time. Jun-ho activates Plan B. Kang No-ul arrives at the location, enters a truck, and walks into a cabin. In the final twist, she's revealed to be a brutal security guard in a pink jumpsuit, not a contestant. Episode 3. Jun-ho and Woo-suk arrive at a dock with their team to track Ji-hoon's location. They are joined by Captain Park, who saved Jun-ho 2 years ago. Meanwhile, Gi-hun Woo-seok's up in the Squid Game facility, wearing the green suit with the number 456. Guards explain the game's rules. 6 games over 6 days with a prize of 45.6 billion won, $31 million. Players must sign a consent form, and some, like Mungi, are confronted by others over past financial mistakes. Jun-ho and his team continue their search. Captain Park tells Jun-ho about a previous player who survived but was forced back into the game with a tracker. The GPS points to a nearby island. On the island, Gi-hun meets his old gambling friend, Young-bi, and warns the players about the first game, red light, green light, with a giant doll. Woo-seok's team arrives at an island, but the tracker leads to a fisherman, not Gi-hun. Meanwhile, at the game, Gi-hun notices his prosthetic tooth is gone and warns the players about the doll, but they do not believe him. The game starts, and players are shot for moving. A sniper, N, shoots from afar and is shocked to see the sick girl's father among the contestants. Gi-hun helps a player who's shot in the leg, but the man is killed when they reach the finish line. After the first game, 91 players are dead, and 365 remain. The guard announces the prize money, and players are given the option to vote to leave. Gi-hun urges them to leave, but many choose to stay for the larger prize. Some players demand to know how Gi-hun knows so much. He admits he played the game before, won, and returned to stop it. The voting ends with 180 votes to leave and 181 votes to stay. Player 001's vote decides the outcome, and they choose to continue the game. In a twist, player 001 is revealed to be the frontman, In-ho. Episode 4. After the vote, the players are given food, but Gi-hun is uninterested, knowing he's back in the game. In-ho, the frontman, approaches him and asks for help, explaining he voted to stay because of Ji-hun's experience. Gi-hun warns about the second game, Delona, where players carve shapes from honeycomb cookies. He tells them the triangle is the easiest, and the umbrella is the hardest. Gi-hun argues with In-ho, calling the prize money blood money, and scolding him for pressing the stay button. Meanwhile, Thanos and Nam-gyu confront Myung-gi over their financial losses, beating him up. In-ho intervenes and beats Thanos and Gu until they apologize, earning applause from the others. Later, In-ho shares that his wife is sick and he needs the game's money to save her. In the game, some guards are caught illegally harvesting organs from dead players, and N is revealed to be the one finishing them off. She has a tense conversation with her superior, who reminds her of her violent past in North Korea. Meanwhile, Jun-ho tries to convince his boss about the deadly game, but is dismissed as crazy. He and Woo-seok decide to search for the island again. Back at the island, Gi-hun realizes that the triangle shape is not just one triangle, but it turns out to be a false alarm. Myung-gi is approached by his pregnant ex-girlfriend, Jun-hee, who is angry with him for his bad crypto advice. The next game begins, and the players are divided into teams. Gi-hun teams up with In-ho, Young-bi, and 2 Marine guys. Jun-hee joins their team despite her pregnancy. In this game, their legs are tied together, and they must complete 5 mini-games within 5 minutes every 10 meters. The teams struggle, with one team failing the flying stone game while the other team advances. Both teams run out of time, and players are killed. 2 guards find a shot player still alive and mark his coffin, but Nam orders them to open it and shoots the man to ensure his death. Episode 5. The episode begins with Cho Hyun-ju, a transgender woman, leading a team of diverse individuals, including Wai-seok, his elderly mother Young-mi, and a shaman. They pass the mini-games, with Cho Hyun-ju's team finishing first. As other teams compete, Gi-hun's team performs well but faces struggles. In-ho fails the spinning top but eventually succeeds, and Gi-hun completes the final mini-game with In-ho's help, winning just in time. The other team is killed. In the hall, players are frustrated by the low death toll, and Nam is attacked by two men for interfering. In-ho apologizes for his earlier failure, and the results of the second game are announced. 110 players died, and the remaining 255 will share 20.1 billion won. Despite this, many players still want to continue for more money. A vote is held on whether the game should continue. Cho Hyun-ju's team and Gi-hun's team vote to leave, but Wai Seok betrays his mother, and Cho Hyun-ju also votes to stay. The majority votes to continue, with 139 players wanting to play for more money. Even Young-bi goes against his team's decision, creating tension. The players are given food and drinks before they rest. Wai Seok apologizes to his mother, revealing he owes 100 million won in extra debt, and if he does not pay it, his creditors will kill him. He promises they will just play one more game and leave, but his mother becomes emotional, saying if he dies, she has no reason to live. Young-bi hides from his team, ashamed of his decision. Ho finds him and drags him to apologize to Gun. Young-bi explains that he borrowed a large amount of money and his creditors are now harassing his ex-wife and kids. His team forgives him, and Young-bi feels happy, thinking they can still win next time. But Gi-hun worries that in the next game they might have to kill each other. Elsewhere, Cho Hyun-ju is confronted by Wai Seok's mother, who asks why she voted to stay. Cho Hyun-ju reveals that when she came out as transgender, her family and friends abandoned her, and she was even fired from her military job. She had to undergo surgery to become fully female, putting her in deep debt. Cho Hyun-ju promises that she will vote to leave after the next game. In the restroom, Thanos and Nu approach Myung-gi and start bullying him for voting to leave despite owing money. Thanos warns Myung-gi that he won't be allowed to leave unless he pays back the money. Thanos then insults Myung-gi, but Myung-gi reminds him of the most embarrassing moment of his life, when he forgot his lyrics during a performance. This makes Thanos angry, and he grabs Myung-gi by the neck. Just then, In-ho and his team show up, and Thanos leaves. Later that night, before the lights go out, Gi-hun barricades his team with mattresses, warning them to take turns keeping watch. He's worried that when they fall asleep, other players might come after them for the prize money. The others think he's overreacting, but Gi-hun explains that during the last season, many players were killed at night. Young Woo Seok is up for the night watch and tells Gi-hun to rest, but Gi-hun says he's not tired. The two friends talk about the old days, and Gi-hun smiles for the first time in a while. Meanwhile, in the outside world, Junho and Woo Seok have gathered two teams and are sailing to find the island. The next morning, the participants are woken up early with an announcement to prepare for the next game. They are taken to a large room with a rotating central platform. The next game is called Mingle, where all the players must stand on the rotating platform. When the music stops, a number is called out, and players must quickly form groups of that number. They must enter one of the 50 rooms within 30 seconds, or they will be killed. There are more than 250 players, so many will be killed by the end. The leaders tell their teams to stay strong and not panic. Episode 6. The game begins as the platform spins and 10 players are called. Gun's team joins Who's group and finds a room while guards eliminate players who don't. The shaman warns Gun and the pregnant girl, saying they've lived longer than they should. In the next round, teams must leave one member behind. The frontman volunteers, but Thanos kicks a teammate out. Whose team leaves the shaman behind, angering her. A rule is broken when 3 players are found in one room and they are eliminated. Gun's team is relieved that the frontman is alive, but the shaman glares at her former teammates. In the next round, players form groups of 3. Thanos makes Se-mi and Min-soo play rock, paper, scissors, but Se-mi refuses and offers to team up. Young-sik and Gumja struggle to find a third member, and 2 strong players drag Young-sik away. Gumja is devastated, but Gun and the frontman pull her into their group. She defends her son despite the betrayal. In the next round, Who's team realizes Young-mi is missing, eliminated while running to their room. Cho Hyun-ju regrets her vote to continue the games. Myung-gi explains his decision to take Young-mi's place, and Jun-hee defends him. Myung-gi thanks Jun-hee for his support. In the following round, the frontman predicts the next number will be 2. With only 126 players left and 50 rooms, fewer rooms are needed. The announcer calls for 2 players, and the frontman grabs Jung-bi. They race toward a room, but Thanos grabs his teammate, leaving Min-soo behind. Chaos breaks out as pairs fight for rooms. Jung-bi gets knocked down by another player, and the frontman rushes to help him. In a desperate move, the frontman drags one player out of a room to make space for himself and Jung-bi. When the door closes, the frontman realizes there's an extra player in the room. To avoid failure, he ruthlessly kills the extra player, leaving Jung-bi horrified. After the game, players return to the dormitory. Thanos and his minion compliment Min-soo for choosing them in the last round, pressuring him to vote to continue. Meanwhile, Myung-gi suggests to Jun-hee that they start over after they get out, instead of using the money to help raise their child. Thanos and his minion realize there is something going on between Myung-gi and Jun-hee. Still angry about being betrayed, the shaman approaches them and says she has cursed them all. She warns Jun-hee not to give up, threatening to kill her before any gods can get to her. Gun's team talks about their chances of winning the next vote. Gi-hun suggests persuading some of the O players to change their minds, but the frontman warns that it's dangerous since some players will do anything for money. Gi-hun argues with the frontman, but guards interrupt, announcing the updated prize of 356 million won per player. Gi-hun's team hopes this will sway some O players. Meanwhile, the search team's drone finds a hatch. Opening it triggers an explosion, killing one mercenary and injuring another. Despite the danger, the captain insists on continuing. At dinner, the dorm splits into O and X gangs. X tries to win over O with food, but tensions rise. Gi-hun suspects a massacre is planned and notices a fork could be used as a weapon. In the restroom, Thanos and his minion pressure Min-soo, but Myung-gi defends him. A fight breaks out, and Myung-gi, in desperation, stabs Thanos in the throat with a fork. Episode 7. Myung-gi, horrified after killing Thanos, hides in a stall. Thanos' minion kills an ex-gang member using the cross with infinity stones. Guards watch but do not intervene. The announcer lists the dead, adding their money to the piggy bank, shocking the players. Gi-hun and the frontman realize a massacre is coming. After counting survivors, the ex-gang sees they now have the advantage, worrying Gi-hun. Meanwhile, on the boat, the drone operator catches the captain tampering with the drone. The captain, the mole, kills him and hides the body. Woo-seok remains suspicious but is convinced to leave. On the island, the organs smuggling continues. The officer orders guards to prepare for a special game. Gi-hun warns Gi-hun's group about an attack. Gi-hun proposes stealing guns, but is willing to sacrifice others, revealing a darker side. Thanos' minion swallows infinity stones to prepare. When the lights go out, Gi-hun's group hides under beds. Min-soo, terrified, tries to save Semi, but fails as Semi is killed. Guards end the chaos. Gi-hun's group pretends to be dead, then ambushes the guards, killing most of them. They take a guard hostage. Gi-hun refuses to kill the O-gang and gathers weapons, shooting the cameras. Gi-hun asks for volunteers to storm the control center. 3 join, but Young-sik's mother stops him. Hoon, revealing her special forces background, teaches them how to handle guns. Gi-hun orders the hostage guard to remove his mask, demanding to know if his parents know what he's doing. He insists the guard lead them to the control center. The group proceeds and encounters more guards. Myung-gi, surprisingly skilled, eliminates most of the attackers alone. The group keeps moving forward. The hostage guard gives Gi-hun his mask to bypass the control center's security. The guard recognizes the front man among the rebels, but before he can speak, another guard kills him. During a firefight, Dio fires wildly, wasting ammo and showing his inexperience. Gi-hun scolds him for wasting shots. While the rest of the group holds off the guards, Gi-hun and Jung-bi rush to the control center. Using the guard's mask, Gi-hun gains access to a corridor and quickly eliminates 2 guards. Searching their bodies, Gi-hun finds extra ammo in their pockets. The officer orders the guards to secure the stairwell and prepare for the rebels' next move. The group runs low on ammo, and Gi-hun and Jung-bi radio the others, urging them to collect the extra ammo. The frontman leads 2 players to assist Gi-hun and Jung-bi. Dae-ho volunteers to return to the dorm to gather more ammo from the dead guards. Out of bullets, Gi-hun risks his life to collect more ammo, while Young-bae provides cover. Gi-hun retrieves several magazines and retreats to safety. Dae-ho, desperate for ammo, collects it with Young-seok's help, but panics and retreats. Cho Hyun-ju radios him, but Dae-ho drops the walkie and hides. Cho Hyun-ju decides to check on him. Meanwhile, the frontman and two players find Gi-hun. Gi-hun gives his last magazine to the frontman, who then flanks the guards but betrays and kills the two players, lying that they were ambushed. He switches to the guards' radio and orders them to wipe out the rebels. Cho Hyun-ju finds Dae-ho trembling, grabs the ammo, but more guards arrive. As Hun prepares to fire, Gum-ja questions if violence is the answer. In the hallway, 3 players remain. One commits suicide, the other 2 surrender, but one is killed. The last survivor, the sick girl's father, begs for his life but is fatally shot. Gi-hun and Young-bae are captured. The front man, now masked, mocks Gi-hun and shoots Young-bae in front of him, leaving Gi-hun devastated. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Thank you for watching.